next item we have is a discussion item, and this is review of historic structures prior to issuance of demolition permit. Recommendation that the City Council have a discussion pertain to a citywide review of historic structures prior to the issuance of a demolition permit.
Second.
We have to have a motion.
Oh.
So we'll make the motion.
That's all right. I enjoy my telepathic fellow council member,
Right, so
Myers, and so I will proceed that second with a motion.
Okay.
And thank you very much. I recognize, again, as a body that we try not to bring these add-on items after the agenda has been posted based on some recent activity, including the planning board meeting of June 14th, in which under their new business they also elected to name this same subject matter as an item that they now want to bring up at their next agenda as a discussion item. As many of you are aware, citywide we have portions of neighborhoods that don't fall under the purview or review of certain boards, particularly the Architectural Review Board. I think it's timely that we have in the public setting an opportunity to have some dialogue. All of us have been inundated with lots of communication, and as we all know, we can only do this when we are at a publicly noticed meeting. And I'll provide more information if this discussion item, if it's approved Thursday evening, and we'll have a little more energy since we won't be learning about mosquito control.
Mosquito control.
Right, this will take the place of mosquito control.
Okay.
All right.
This might be the shortest summary I've ever seen on a council memorandum, but
yeah.
I'm just wondering if the planning board has this on their agenda to discuss. Do you think we should? You don't think we should wait until after they discuss it and have a recommendation come back to us?
I think President Baer that the issue is significant enough that I would prefer to hear what my colleagues have to say, just in a discussion format, not at all usurping the role and effectiveness of the planning board in any way.
Okay.
But I can offer some insight, I believe.
Okay. Thank you. Councilman Wingate?
No, I'm just
Councilman Wu.
exercising my arthritis.
With all due respect to Councilman Spencer, and I understand your concern, I believe I favor what Councilman Baer says, that because if we go ahead and weigh in before we allow the planning board to do, it's almost like discounting what they have to come up with. And so I personally, if you have no strong objections, waiting for the planning board to bring us forward what they have, and then us weighing in afterwards. But I'll acquiesce to your wishes. But I'm saying
well, I hope you'll acquiesce and then to support me.
Now you want to talk?
Yes.
Councilman Wingate.
Well, this will just be a discussion item. We won't be taking any kind of action, so it won't be borrowing anything that the planning group comes up with.
Mr. Administrator, do you want to say something?
I did, and I don't want to misstep here, but I did have a conversation with Sherry Morris in planning today about this issue, because although this is on the planning board's agenda, it was never placed there by council. They were never directed to do that.
Right.
So this may be your opportunity. I don't know how the planning board is going to play out, but that would be the direction that at least we would communicate to the planning board, that it was not brought there by city council.
So you would prefer that they not discuss things not brought to them by city council? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think that's the preferred process.
Okay. All right. Councilwoman Myers.
Now, I would prefer that the council have a discussion for the planning board to hear our concerns, because if we wait to hear from them, they may not address some of the concerns that I have and that have been expressed to me by my constituents and that I've read comments about, So I think that to me, it's a lot more beneficial for us to have a discussion and for the planning board to be able to hear what our concerns are and then address their concerns and our concerns all at one time.
Okay. And I would agree with that, because we are sending some things to planning board, and if you hadn't mentioned it, Vice President Spencer, I wouldn't have even thought about this, but now it doesn't, and now that I've heard from the administrator, I don't think it's right they're just going out and having a discussion on their own. I think it's something we need to send to them, probably after our discussion, and potentially some action. Councilwoman Canada-Wynn, do you have a comment?
Yeah, I could wait till, because my concerns were some of the recommendations. Like, for example, we're talking about historic structures, and who are the gatekeepers of our historic history? And so I've been trying to research. Someone had told me it was the University of West Florida, so we just haven't. So I'll just wait for my list on Thursday.
Any other comments? Okay, we do have a motion and a second. The recommendation is for a discussion. City Council have a discussion pertaining to a citywide review of historic structures prior to the issuance of a demolition permit. If you are in favor of adding this to the agenda, please raise your hand. Okay, it's unanimous.
Thank you very much.
And we'll just put that where the other, we'll just put it at the end of discussion items. Is that okay? Okay.